Today, we are going to be talking about 5 of the most common mistakes that you're doing or not doing that's causing you to have pain right here. The most common cause of pain below the kneecap is known as patellofemoral pain syndrome. It's also known as runner's knee or biker's knee, but you don't actually have to be a runner or biker to have it. Your kneecap is like a train that's riding along a train track. When you walk or go up and down the stairs, the knee bends and extends. And the kneecap is like the train right here. And the train track is the femur and the tibia down here. But there are many different factors that can cause that train to fall off the track. When that happens, there's a lot of friction underneath, and that over time can be very painful. Mistake number 1 is not paying attention to your feet. Wait, your feet? Yes, you heard that correctly. I know this video is about your knees, but each part of your body is connected to each other, and the foundation starts with the feet. If you have flat feet like my husband here, it's going to cause your lower leg to rotate inwards, which then puts more pressure onto the knees, and that is painful. Compare that to my feet. I don't have flat feet, and so my lower leg is not rotated inwards and my knee is not at an awkward position. To fix flat feet, you can try shoe inserts like these, or you can get custom orthotics. Shoe inserts are a lot more affordable, and my husband likes to use these ones, which are super feet. You can buy them on Amazon or REI. They do have different colors and different levels of arch support, so you may need to try different ones to figure out which one feels best on your feet. Also, if you're wearing bad footwear like high heels for a long time, that's going to put a lot of pressure on your knee joint. With high heels, you're basically standing on your tippy toes for hours on end, and that not only puts pressure on your knees, but also your ankles and your back. So unless you want to be seeing your doctor for all these different issues, try to limit the amount of time that you spend in high heels. Mistake number 2 is not stretching. Now you might think you can skip this one, but do not. There are a ton of muscles that connect to the knee. If one muscle is too tight, it's going to cause the train, aka the kneecap, to come off of the track and therefore cause pain. But how do you actually tell if your muscles are tight? There's 3 tests that you can do. The first test is testing the quadricep. First, lay on your tummy, relax your back, and bend your foot towards your butt. If your hip lifts up, then that means that your quads are tight. And to stretch the quads, you're going to lay in the same position. Make sure that your back is relaxed and hold these stretches for 30 seconds or as long as you're able to. The second test is testing the IT band. Lay on your side, keep your upper leg aligned with your back, and bend your knee to 90 degrees. If your thigh remains up and it's unable to touch the floor, that means that you have a tight IT band, and that is super common in runners. To stretch the IT band, lay on your back, wrap a band or belt around your foot, lift your leg up and move it across your body, and you should feel the IT band stretch on the leg that you're lifting. Test number 3 is testing for tight hamstring muscles. Lay flat on your back, lift your leg up, and you should be able to get your leg up to 80 to 90 degrees. If you can't, that means that your hamstrings are tight, and you would stretch it in exactly the same position. If any or all of those muscles are tight, it can contribute to your knee pain. The third mistake is having muscle knots. Now, sometimes you can stretch all you want, but if you have muscle knots, it may be impossible to get out with stretching alone. There's different methods you can use to loosen up those muscle knots. First is a foam roller. This is my favorite method, and I add it to my routine every single day. You can foam roll your quadriceps by putting the foam roller underneath your quads and moving back and forth. You can also foam roll your IT band by laying on your side, and as I mentioned before, this is often tight in runners. Another alternative is a hand roller. Make sure your quads are nice and relaxed. Don't push your knee all the way down to the ground, because then your quads are going to tighten up and you can't really roll it out. You're basically like kneading dough, but you're kneading your muscle knots instead. The hand roller can be less painful compared to a foam roller, and it's great for very sensitive areas. I'll link this in the description below. I got it from Amazon. Massage guns are a great way to apply heavy force very quickly. So again, make sure that your muscles are nice and relaxed when you're doing any sort of massaging, because if it's tightened up, it's going to be really difficult to massage. If you have a specific muscle knot area, you can focus on that. Mistake number 4 is not strengthening your muscles. Just like how one muscle being too tight can cause the train to derail from the train tracks, if one muscle is weaker compared to the other ones, it can cause the same issue. The hip abductors are muscles that are in your butt that stabilize your pelvis, and if they are weak, it can cause knee pain. Try standing on one foot. If the opposite pelvis tilts, that means that your hip abductors on the standing leg is weak. In order to strengthen the hip abductors, lay on your side, have your bottom leg bent, and lift your upper leg up towards the ceiling. Hold that for 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly lower it down. Repeat that 10 times and do 3 sets. The quadriceps is made out of 4 muscles, but one of them, known as the vastus medialis, which is located on the inner aspect of the quads, is notoriously weak in a lot of people. To strengthen this muscle, lay on the floor, rotate your leg outwards, and lift your leg towards the ceiling. You can touch your inner quad to help with the muscle activation. Do this 10 times and do 3 sets. Mistake number 5 is exercising with poor form. When you're squatting and lunging, if your knees are going too far forward over your foot, that's going to cause a lot of knee pain. When you lunge, make sure that your knee is at 90 degrees and do not let the knee pass the toes. When you're squatting, start with sending your hip backwards first, and again, don't let your knees pass your toes. If you're biking and your saddle is too forward or too low, then you're gonna have pain in the front of the knee. Versus if your saddle is too high, that's going to cause your leg to hyperextend, and that's going to cause pain in the back of your knee. To summarize, the reason I had these mistakes in a certain order was for a specific reason. When we're born, our muscles are perfectly straight and there's no issues. However, over time, if you have bad posture, for example, like with your feet, then your muscles start to pull and you develop muscle knots. With these muscle knots, you have to use things like massage guns or foam rollers to get those muscle adhesions out. However, you can't just break it up and not do anything, otherwise it's going to go back to its original form. And that's why it's so important to stretch the muscles at least 30 seconds afterwards to allow the muscles to lengthen to the original position. But after that, you still need to strengthen the muscles to keep the good form and posture. Alright, I hope that video was helpful for you guys. Each of these topics can go into much more detail, so let me know if you want to see that. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with your friends.